Hi everybody, and welcome to another episode of Life of Kay. I am Kay. I'm here in my kitchen today for a very good reason. It's not really a cooking episode per se. As you know, we are ending and wrapping up the month of Ramadan. For those of you who are watching and not familiar with Ramadan, Ramadan is a holy month for us Muslims where we fast for 29 or 30 days from sun up to sundown. So we eat an early morning meal and then we fast until the sun goes down at the end of the day, and we break our fast, which is called iftar. At the end of this 29 or 30 days is a big celebration, which is our holiday, and that's called Eid al-Fitr. So we are actually winding down to the last few days this week, and then we're going to have Eid al-Fitr. Eid al-Fitr is our big holiday to commemorate the end of Ramadan and the end of fasting, and usually, traditionally, it is a big celebration. Normally would be in the masjids or outdoors, depending on where you live in the country or where in the world you live. If you have nice weather and plenty of space, there's a lot of time going on. All of the masjids and Islamic centers are closed, as are other houses of worship. So our Eid this year is going to be looking a little differently. We're not able to go out and be around other Muslims and family and friends in that way. So with that said, I preparing a slightly different Eid gift this year. And normally I'd order something cute or whatever and give to the kids, give to my parents and my siblings and everything. My daughter and I decided to come up with something different this year. We decided to make our Eid gifts ourselves. Doing something homemade. We figured like it could be more from the heart. If it was homemade, made it ourselves, with love, and we're gonna give it to our family. We're actually gonna be shipping it to a couple of family members because I have one who lives out of state and my sister who lives very far away. So a couple of them are going to be shipped, and the others are going to be given when I see them. Hopefully I will be seeing them at some point. So one of the things we decided to put in our Eid gift bag this year, especially in Caribbean culture, it is delicious. It's one of my favorite drinks. I really got into making it at home. It's really simple and easy to make at home, and I really got into it, and it is delicious, let me tell you. I have in the past brought some for family and friends, and they really had nothing but positive things to say about my sorrel, so I guess I'm doing a pretty good job of making it. So I am making sorrel today, so I already have 2 pots going on the stove with water that is starting to get hot now. And I'm going to start adding my ingredients for the sorrel, which are pretty simple. And this is something you can... so one of the gifts, like I said, one of our gifts is going to be bottles of sorrel, which we're going to include in our gifts. Like I said, we're going homemade this year, so I'm really excited about this. So obviously with sorrel, the main ingredient is hibiscus leaves, dried hibiscus leaves. Now this is something you can purchase in the store. I got this from one of the halal meat markets that I go to. They actually have plenty of these, have lots of bags. Because it's a tea as well. You could use this to make hibiscus tea for those like hibiscus tea. So the main ingredient in sorrel is the hibiscus leaves, these little red leaves here. You can find these, again, in any specialty store, especially in a Caribbean grocery store. You will find it. I have found it in local neighborhood supermarkets. So check out your local neighborhood supermarket, especially if it's an ethnic supermarket. You will definitely find these hibiscus leaves. So that is the main ingredient in sorrel. That's what gives it that red color, and it gives it that flavor, which is very delicious. Now, you do have to add sweeteners to it, obviously, because if you taste it on its own, it's very bitter. So you definitely need to add your sugar, which I will be doing at some point. So I'm going to put in some of these hibiscus leaves so I can start the sorrel. I do have a little bit left of some that's already open. So I'm going to finish actually a bag that I already had from before I opened. Anybody was saying, oh, she's not measuring it. Guys, let me tell you, when I cook and stuff, I'm not even going to tell you, like, I don't usually measure. I'm the kind of cook that eyeballs everything, and and just goes with it. I have been told I was a good cook. I'm not bragging, but I do have a habit of just eyeballing and putting things in and not using measure unless it's a recipe that I'm not familiar with. If it's a recipe that I'm doing for the very first time, I will use measuring cups and measuring spoons and all that stuff. But if it's something that I've done before, I'm familiar with, or kind of have a rough idea, I eyeball it. I don't really use measuring cups, and so after a while, you know, when you cook and prepare things, after a while you kind of get a feel for it. You just kind of know how much to put in and things like that. You just know. It's like a sixth sense, you know, when you have a certain amount of experience of cooking and things like that. So I am one of those people, which is probably why I probably could never have a cooking channel, because I don't really measure things out like that. It would be hard for people to try to follow you at home if they don't have the proper measurements of everything. Okay, so I put in my hibiscus leaves in both pots. Just gonna get that stir. So I got the hibiscus leaves going in both pots. Okay, so I just give it a little stir to kind of disperse the leaves around the pot. I'm going to add some of my seasonings now. I'm going to add, and I will show you in a minute. I'm going to be adding cardamom. Now I use the whole cardamom pods. It definitely gives it a richer, more robust flavor. I mean, you could use the powder too, the powdered round cardamom. I like using the fresh whole pods. It just gives it a better flavor. You want that, that really nice, strong flavor, and the smell is amazing. I love the smell of the cardamom. It just smells so nice. I mean, it's not even a handful. If I guess, I'd say it's about 8 or 9 pods. 8 or 9 pods you can put in there. Like I said, I do eyeball a lot of my stuff. I don't measure out, and if I look at it, I'm like, huh, I feel like I need some more. I put some more in. You know, like I'm not really. I like flavor, and you know, so I also put in. If I can get the pack open, that'd be great. All right, so I also put in cinnamon sticks. So I use cinnamon sticks. Should go first. So I put in cinnamon sticks in both. Again, one stick usually will do the job for a pot, but since this pot is kind of a large pot, I'm going to be adding actually 2 cinnamon sticks for mine, because this is a big pot and I want to make sure it has enough flavor. This pot I only added 1 to because it's a smaller pot. Okay, so just trying to explain to you the logic behind what I'm doing. Next, I also add cloves. Again, I use whole cloves when I put in the sorrel. I suppose you can get these ground too, for those who want to do ground. Again, my ingredients are all like whole seasonings because it gives the flavor. It is more flavor. You're going to have a much more robust flavor to the sorrel. You want to use, you know, plenty of. So again, how many I just put in there? I have no clue because I didn't measure it. Again, if I had to guess, I'd say 8 or 9, maybe 10 of the cloves. I don't measure. Another key ingredient for the sorrel, and again, this is my sorrel. I'm sure there's people who, you know, might do it different ways. It really depends on where you're from and who you are. Is ginger. I use fresh whole ginger in my sorrel, just to let you guys know. So I use fresh whole ginger. I will be using fresh whole ginger in my sorrel. Again, you can use the powder, you know, in the container you can use the ground ginger if you want. It's totally up to you. I've done it both ways, to be perfectly honest with you. But I find when I use the fresh ginger, it just gives it a better, more richer, robust flavor. It really, really does. So I'm using whole fresh ginger for my sorrel. So I know I'm just working on the peeling now, and then I just cut off. I really just cut off nice pieces of it, and I drop it in. Like, you know, like I said, I don't measure. I do it to how I like it. I just cut off pieces of it, and again, ginger. Oh, I love fresh ginger too. I do love fresh ginger, and the smell. Now, not everybody's a fan of ginger. I know that. My daughter doesn't take care of her ginger flavored stuff. I like it. So I do peel off fresh ginger, cut pieces of that in there. And again, if I find later on that I would like some more ginger, I just add some more if I feel like it needs that little more gingery flavor. I like that flavor in the sorrel. And the next thing I'm going to add, again, this is my touch. Everybody is different. I add fresh orange slices to my sorrel. It really gives a nice flavor. It has that slightly citrusy flavor, that underlying citrus flavor, which you kind of want in a sorrel. And I love that. And again, you don't need a lot, but you do want that slight hint of citrus flavor. So people will drink it like, that tastes a little, you know, something. So I do add fresh orange to my sorrel. I just slice it. Put the one to do a job. You're not trying to overpower. Okay, and there you go. Of course, I do have to add sugar to this. Like I said, it's very bitter. But I will be adding sugar to this as well. I'm just going to have this come to a boil. So everything is kind of cooking in there nicely. But anyway, these are going to come to a boil. I would say I usually let it boil for a good 15 minutes or so, maybe 20 minutes depending. I just want everything to really get incorporated in there. And then I let it sit. And sorrel is one of those drinks with, like, it gets better with age, so the longer it sits, the better it's going to taste. So I actually let this sit for most of the day. Once it's finished, once I turn the pots off and it's done boiling, I just let it sit for pretty much the whole day. Because obviously I can't work with it while it's hot, so it has to cool anyway. And like I said, the longer it sits, the better it tastes. That flavor really just gets in there, infused in there nicely. So this is going to be sitting here for pretty much probably for the rest of the day at this point. And then so later on I will show you guys how it came out, and we're going to have it put in bottles and everything so that we can send it to my family for their weekend. Okay, so I finished with the sorrel. So like I said, I had it sitting for most of the day. When I'd say if I had to guess how long, I'd say from anywhere from 8 to 10 hours I had the sorrel just kind of sitting in the pots. I just wanted all the seasoning and everything to really infuse in there nicely and give it that nice robust rich flavor. And then after that I sweetened it. I added some sugar to sweeten it up. Like I said, if you leave it like that, hibiscus is very bitter. And then after that I had to strain it. Use my handy strainers. I had to strain it because you want to get rid of all that, the solids like the leaves and the spices and everything. So I strained everything, and here's the end result. I actually put everything, my sorrel, in these cute little, these are 16 ounces. So I have 8 of these 16-ounce bottles. So this is what I'm going to be sending to my family. So I got everything, the sorrel, into these 8 of these 16-ounce bottles, and this is what I'm going to be giving to my family as part of their gift package that I am preparing, or I say my daughter are preparing for them. So this is kind of giving you an idea of how much that batch made. I was able to fill 8 of these 16-ounce bottles, plus I actually have some left over in this juice bottle that I have. So it made a lot of sorrel. Bottom line, that batch made a lot of sorrel. So that's where we are with the sorrel. And now we're going to move on to the next thing, or next item in our homemade Eid gift that we're going to be preparing. So I'm going to go and get my supplies and materials for that, and I will see you in just a minute. So the next thing we're actually going to be making is cookies. Now those who know me know that my absolute favorite thing in the world is cookies. Specifically chocolate chip cookies. Chocolate chip cookies are my favorite cookie in the whole world. Cookies today, for my family, I'm going to be making some nice homemade chocolate chip cookies for them. And I'm going to actually be using 3 kinds of chocolate chips for my chocolate chip cookies. I'm going to show you. So I'm going to be using white chocolate. I'm going to be using milk chocolate, and I'm going to be using semi-sweet chocolate. So I'm using 3 different kinds of chocolate in my chocolate chip cookies, so that should really make them taste even better. And I'm actually preparing 2 batches of cookies. So one batch is going to be regular chocolate chip cookies, and I'm also preparing a gluten-free batch of chocolate cookies. And this is for my sister-in-law because she only eats gluten-free. So I want to make sure that I include everybody in the family and that everybody can receive the goodies that we're preparing for them. So I am making a gluten-free batch as well. So for that I am going to be using gluten-free all-purpose baking flour, and I'm also going to be using the natural, the almond flour. So I'm using 2 types of flours for those cookies. My gluten-free batch. Now I will be honest, I don't have a lot of experience baking with gluten-free, so hopefully these come out okay. Okay, so I'm gonna get ready to start making my cookies. Like I said, making 2 separate batches, gluten-free and regular. I'm gonna pause right here at the camera because my camera person is actually my daughter, and she is also helping me making the cookies since we have a lot of cookies to bake. We're making 2 separate batches, so I'm gonna stop it here, and then when we come back, I'll show you how the cookies turned out in the end when we finished. All right. Alright, so I finished my batch of gluten-free cookies. I did the gluten-free first. I'm just going to show you how they came out. They came out nice. This is how they came out. They're on a cooling rack now. So this is how they came out. These are my gluten-free cookies. I made them like medium-sized. I didn't want them too tiny and I didn't want them too big either. So I guess you could say they're like medium-sized cookies so you get a nice bite. And then what we did was we packaged them up in these little boxes. Aren't they adorable? So we got these boxes we bought and we put them in these boxes. And I also wrote gluten-free on the front of the box. Because like I said, this is for my sister-in-law, and so when they get their package, all the boxes are the same. So they'll know the difference between my brother's cookies, which are going to be regular. And now we're going to get ready to start our next batch, which is going to be the regular triple chocolate cookies. So I'm gonna get ready to do that. We're gonna make those, and then I'll come back and show you how those came out. Package size of cookies in the sorrel, which we made earlier. I have a couple other homemade items. So we have here some whipped body butter. Now, I did not make this with body butter. I wish I could take credit for it, but I can't. I don't know how to make body butter. So this is from Kathy Rose. She has her own skincare line. She has amazing products. She sells body butters and lotions and creams and oils, everything natural, handmade. She makes these things right in her own home, in her own kitchen. So I got different scents for each lady in my family. So everybody's getting the Kathy Rose Naturals body butter. And for the guys, I got beard oil. She also makes a line of beard oil for the men. So all the guys in my family are going to get beard oil. Once again, everything is 100% natural, vegan, homemade. She makes a lovely beard oil, so all the guys getting the beard oils, which will be in their care package. So these are the last items. So we're going to get ready to, for the ones we're shipping, we're going to box them up. We have to bubble wrap everything and make sure everything has packing foam. We're going to box everything up and we're going to take it over to the post office so that we can ship it to my family members who are out of state. And for the other items, we're going to put it in gift bags and I will be giving to them this weekend. Inshallah. So stay tuned. We're wrapping up now the process of getting this homemade e-gifts bundle together. Okay, so if you're wondering why I'm wearing different clothes, because the following day, by the time we finished getting everything ready with the cookies and everything, the day was over. Like I said, it took us about 6-7 hours to get everything done. So everything is boxed up and ready to go. We are literally about to go to the post office right now and ship the e-gifts to my family members who live far away, who are out of state. These are the bags that I got for the family members who are right here with me in Brooklyn, so I will give them regular gift bags. I do have gift bags for them because I will be seeing them. But for my other family members, we're going to go to the post office and ship out their e-gifts. So that is really the end of my videos. Thank you for watching my video. I hope you enjoyed this video of us preparing our e-gifts for our families. Like I said, we really wanted to make it special this year by making it homemade and from the heart. And it was a lot of labor, but it was a labor of love, and we enjoyed every minute of it. Like I said, my daughter was helping me throughout the whole process, so I'm going to thank her, because without her I probably couldn't have gotten all this done. It took us a while to get everything ready to go. It took us a couple of days actually for everything to get done. Also, if you're interested in the Kathy Rose Naturals products that I'm giving to my family this year, I will include a link to her online store in the description box below. So if you want to check out some of the wonderful products she has, like the whipped body butters and some of her other products, they're all awesome. Please click on the link and it will take you to her online store and you can order from there. Comments below, please. Don't forget to click the notifications bell so you know the next time I'm about to drop a new video. Also, please don't forget to like and subscribe. Until next time, see you.